Hi everyone, welcome to Three Guys English. My name is John and welcome. Thank you so much for coming today. I hope April of 2021 is treating you well. It's almost over, so we'll be going into May fairly soon. For today's video, I actually wanted to try doing something different. So today we are going to do 6 idioms or expressions about animals in English. So just 6 useful or interesting ones that I could find. And actually I'm going to make that 7 because English is a zoo. Zoos are about animals. And when you say something is a zoo, it just means kind of a wild and crazy place. Maybe the rules aren't the best. Okay, so English is a zoo and I'm about to show you why. So here we are today, 6 idioms or expressions that we use in English with animals. So here we are. Number 1, deer in headlights. One of my personal favorites. So deer in headlights is interesting, actually. Okay, this is a deer, a baby deer, actually called a fawn. And maybe you're going, ah, but if you live around deer, like we have in North Carolina, you know that they're not exactly the best animals. So these are your headlights. When you're driving in your car, excuse me, when you're driving in your car at night, you have lights. Those are called headlights, okay? So when you're driving down the road and you have your headlights on, okay? Now, here is a deer in headlights. Now, deer sometimes hang out in the road. And suddenly, you're driving down the street, you're driving down the road, and there's a deer in your headlights. And they look at you. They're shocked. They're stunned. They're surprised. They don't know what's going on. They're like, and they freeze. And sometimes they do stupid things. Sometimes they will jump at your car. Sometimes they will jump away from the road and everything's fine. But there's a lot of people that have wrecked cars pretty badly because deer in headlights. And we won't talk about what happens to the deer, but well. Okay, so a deer in headlights, what does that mean? It's the look on someone's face when they are surprised or stunned or shocked. Okay, so this, you can imagine, you're just doing something and then suddenly, okay, that's deer in headlights, okay? So here's an example. He thought he was prepared to give the presentation, but when he walked on stage, he looked like a deer in headlights. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you've had an experience where you felt like deer in headlights. And now you know how to express that in English. All right, the next one is, okay, lead a horse to water. Actually, this is I did a little research. This is one of the oldest expressions in English. It goes back a long time, like 1,000 years, okay? So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, is the full expression, okay? So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So this man here, he's led his horse to water, but the horse is smart because there's a lot of cows around this water and it's not safe to drink. You'd want to have a life straw or something for this. Yeah, you could take a horse to water, but you can't make that horse drink the water. So what that means is that you can show somebody or teach somebody or explain to somebody how to do something, every detail about how to do it, but you cannot force them to do it for themselves. So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So here it is. I showed them exactly how to do it, every detail, and they just won't do it. Right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Sorry, a little redundant there. Sorry about that. All right. The next one, let sleeping dogs lie. Okay, let sleeping dogs lie. Okay, so let sleeping dogs lie. This is a fun one, and it's useful, actually. I've been using it a lot. So this is a baby dog, also called a puppy, and this one looks like a corgi, all right? And if you've a puppy or you had a puppy, you know that when they are awake and they are bored, they can cause some mischief or some terrible problems, much like this little guy has, okay? So, but also, you know that when dogs are asleep, everything is calm, everything is peaceful, everything is awesome, okay? So Here it is. There, yep, all right. That's our English bulldog just passed out. All right. The only thing happening there is maybe he's snoring, because they do that. Okay, so let sleeping dogs lie. What it means is if other people are not talking about a problem or a difficult situation, you shouldn't bring it up either. Okay, you don't want to talk about it either. All right, so for example, the boss did not talk to Bill about being late to work. Bill decided not to mention it. It's better to let sleeping dogs lie. There you go. All right. So moving on from dogs, okay, we've got cat got your tongue. This one is a little bit darker, okay? So cat got your tongue. First, I will say that we always, almost always, I'm going to say always, we always use this as a question, okay? We would never say, oh, the cat's got his tongue. It doesn't make sense. It's usually a question, okay? So, cat got your tongue. So here is a cat, specifically a baby cat called a kitten. And this idiom actually does not come from a cat like this, okay? It comes from something else, and that piece of equipment is named after a cat. So this is called a cat of nine tails. It is a whip, not one whip, a whip with 9 extra whips on it. Okay, so, and yeah, it's used to punish people. And that's what happened. So a long time ago, maybe not so long ago, okay, if you were working on a ship, for example, if you disobeyed an order or you broke a rule, they would tie you to the ship. Then they would use a cat of 9 tails and they would whip you, okay? Because you were bad. Now, usually after you've been whipped, you're not in a great mood. Or maybe you are if you're into that kind of thing. But usually if you've been whipped or punished, you're not in a great mood. And so you don't talk very much. You become very quiet. So, yeah, there it is. Okay. So cat got your tongue. What it means is that a person is unusually quiet, or when a person will not speak to defend themselves, okay? So here's kind of a classic domestic example if life is drama, okay? So girlfriend asks, where were you last night? And boyfriend says, and then girlfriend asks, what, cat got your tongue? What's her name? Right? And then, yeah, and then, you know, all hell breaks loose. Okay, so there it is. Oh yeah, sorry, I had to. I know it's an old one, but yeah, I had to do that. All right, as the crow flies. As the crow flies is our next one. Okay, so as the crow flies. First of all, these are different birds. Yes, the left side is a crow, the right side is a raven, and actually they are different birds. Okay, I don't know if that's important to you or not. It's not. But also, ornithophobia is the fear of birds. Okay, so either way, crows are very clever animals, and they will usually find the fastest way to get from point A to point B. So, as the crow flies, what that means is the distance from point A to point B, if you could fly there in a straight line like a crow. Okay, so as the crow flies. So for example, it takes 30 minutes to drive there, but it's only 5 miles away as the crow flies. So yeah, this is a real situation, and we use that sometimes. You know, it's 5 miles away, but it takes 30 minutes to get there. Okay. All right. Yes, and there you are. For the rest of the world that does not use miles, it's about 8 kilometers. We really need to switch to the metric system. Okay, the next one is raining cats and dogs. Now, if you have spent time studying English, you've probably talked about weather, and you have probably heard this expression or this idiom. So this is probably a review for you. Raining cats and dogs. Let's see if we can get a visual for that. There it is. Okay, cats and dogs. Now, maybe you think this is cute because you can just kind of catch your next pet, or maybe it's horrible because cats and dogs are falling from the sky, and we know what happens when you fall out of the sky and hit the ground. It's very sad. Okay, so raining cats and dogs. This photo or this picture would be the literal raining cats and dogs. We use it as a figure of speech. So this is speaking figuratively. We will do another video on that later on. Okay, so don't worry about that. So, okay, it just means it's raining very, very hard. That's it. It's raining very hard. Now, I have had students from all over the world. I've had students from Mongolia and Kazakhstan and from the Republic of Congo and France and Germany and Spain, and I've had students from Argentina and Brazil and Chile, Japan, you name it. Pick a country, okay? If they don't speak English there, I've probably had a student from that country. And everyone has told me they have an expression for when it rains very hard, and it's always different. I've heard it's raining hammers and nails. I've heard buckets and something, I can't remember. But do me a favor in the comments below. In your language, how do you say it's raining cats and dogs? And if it's cats and dogs, just say it's cats and dogs. That's pretty interesting to know. All right, so raining cats and dogs. Here's an example. We were going to party at the beach today, but it's raining cats and dogs, so we're going to party at the house instead. Yes, house party. Woo! All right. So there it is. Nice work today, guys. A nice short video for you. I really hope this helped or that you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to smash that like button. I'm going to spin it around. Yep, there it is. And yeah, subscribe. We have new videos. 2 videos come out every week, usually about Monday and Friday. We might change that in the near future. But yes, please click that like button. Remember to subscribe. Thank you very much. This is John from 3 Guys English. Sayonara.